wonderful people of JazzedTutorials. So, I'm going to this week show you a tutorial versus last week's video, which was a speed edit, which some of you might not like. I don't know. I'm just trying to get a taste of everything for this channel. Alright, so we're making a colorful grunge effect. Now, we've done grunge effects, I'm sure, in the past on this channel, but this is a different take on a grunge effect. It's very colorful and exciting. So I'm going to walk you step by step how I've made this. I pre-made this already in Photoshop. I was playing around and created something cool, and yeah, so I want to show you how I did that. So I opened this photo here, and it's just a random stock image of a girl. I don't know where this came from. It was just on Google, so yay, thanks Google. And then I'm going to duplicate that layer, which is a Command J or Control J, depending on your PC preferences, Mac or PC. On the duplicated layer, what we're going to do is we are going to add a Gaussian blur. So filter, Gaussian blur. I can't do Gaussian blur because mine's already done, and the layer's grayed out because, well, the layer's not visible just yet. I did a 5.0 on my Gaussian blur, and then on the Gaussian blur, which you'll see, hold on, disable. So you'll see that's kind of blurry like that. That's kind of the blurriness you want. Not too much, not too little, just the right amount. So I figured 5.0 was a good start. Then I took a layer mask, which is this square thing here with the circle in the middle right here. And I basically brushed everything out in the girl sense, so leaving the background only blurred, but your subject in your photo not blurred. Okay, once you have that set, we're going to move on to another step. The next few steps are all adjustment layers, which makes things a lot easier. I don't like applying it directly to the image because if I want to go back and edit, it's a lot more difficult doing it that way. So adding adjustment layers are easier and they work nicely. So first adjustment layer is a brightness and contrast. Now this you're probably going to have to figure out for yourself, your color-wise, because the contrast and brightness for each photo is a little bit different. But you want something that's a little bit dark, but also a little bit bright. So I used a -18 for my brightness and 71 for my contrast. A very high contrast is necessary, so adjust that to suit your photo so it looks very similar to mine. Alright, are you good? You good? Okay, let's move on. Next, we're going to add a color balance adjustment layer. And for those that don't know, your adjustment layers are down below here next to your mask tool, but I'm sure you know that by now. So basically, you want to play with your midtones, highlights, and shadows to get a color that's similar to this, kind of a reddish blue tone. Yeah. My numbers won't really help you because, like I said before, every photo has their own little things and such color-wise. It might, but you want to have a hue on your photo similar to this. Okay. All right. Then we're going to add another adjustment layer, and this is going to be a gradient fill. And what we're going to do on this one is we're going to select a very nice two-toned hue. So we're going to I'm using red and blue, and I think you might want to do the same. This particular color scheme works really well with the effect, so I liked it. So I mean, you can play around if you want, but that was just my choice. My angle is set to 0 because I want it going both ways on each side, horizontally. And I then made that visible, and you'll notice how I have a layer mask. Basically what I did is I didn't want to have the gradient covering the girl because I wanted my last layer, which was my color balance layer, to show through just a little bit. So I used a soft round brush and brushed around the girl a bit to give it that nice subtle tone. And you'll notice that my blend mode is set to soft light. So it's nicely gently in there. You see the contrast, you see all that stuff all in there. Alright, then we're going to add another gradient fill adjustment layer. And this one we are going to choose a particular gradient. These are sepia filters, these things here. These are standard Photoshop filters, or at least they were for my version. I don't know if all versions have these, but I found them in my presets. So basically you want to load all your presets if you haven't already. And you want to choose basically any of these here that seem to have a nice tone hue to it. You guys can play around and see what you like, but I chose this one, Sepia's Celium 3. 90-degree angle on that, linear for my style. I've set this to overlay, and I also, again, I use the mask layer. And the mask layer is basically on the background. So you want to have that gradient only on the girl, if that makes any sense. So basically your subject needs to have color, so we're adding the color to the subject and not the background. Alright. And last but not least, to really make it all come together and give it that grunge effect you really wanted to see, we're going to add some grunge brushes. These brushes I have, I don't remember where I got them. I think we've used these in the past before. But anyway, I'll leave a link below to these ones if you want to use them. If you have your own set of grunge brushes you want to use, go for it. I'm all for that. You want to set your layer to overlay, and your color for your brush needs to be black. And reason being is it blends in the background better with black. So there you have it. You now have yourself a colorful grunge photo. Of course, you could go further and add more effects if you're very advanced, like so advanced that you overrule everybody. But I am not that quite yet. I'm still learning as we go. There's always new things to learn, so I can't quite say I'm an expert, but I'm trying. So thank you guys for watching this lovely video and tutorial. I hope it helped you in some way. If it did, please hit like on this video. If it didn't help you and you have questions, comment below. I would love to help you out to my best of my ability. If you also have suggestions for this channel, also comment below. I'm all over social media. You can find me everywhere. All links are in the description box below, as well as the downloads for this lovely grunge brush set, in case you didn't hear that before. And I will see you guys in another video. Later!